My in-laws claimed they had no money for our baby shower. I was grateful just to have cake. A week later, I saw photos of a surprise cruise they'd taken, with my husband. "You're too emotional," he said when I confronted him. I walked into the nursery, stared at the half-built crib, and then opened my laptop too. I'm 32. My husband, Nathan, is 35. We've been married for 4 years. I'm 8 months pregnant with our first baby, a boy. We live in Springfield, Missouri. Our life has been fine, I guess. We're not rich. We both work full-time. I'm a pharmacy tech, and Nathan manages shipping at a local warehouse. We've been saving slowly, buying things for the baby one paycheck at a time. We don't have any help. Or I should say, we didn't. I thought we didn't. So here's what happened. About a month ago, I asked Nathan if we could have a small baby shower. Just a little get-together in the backyard. Friends, family. I wasn't expecting a big party, but I thought we could celebrate this huge change in our life. I've been dealing with morning sickness, swollen ankles, and working full-time while getting the nursery together. A little joy would have gone a long way. Nathan didn't seem thrilled. He said things were tight and that his parents probably wouldn't be able to help out. I told him that was fine, I'd do it cheap. I could bake a cake myself. He told me his mom might pick one up. I didn't push. His parents, Alan and Marcy, have never really liked me. They've never been cruel, but they keep their distance. They're proper in that fake polite way. You know the type. They've always looked down on my family. My dad worked in construction. My mom was a waitress. Not classy enough, I guess. The day of the shower, it was hot. We had a folding table with some plastic plates, lemonade, and the sheet cake Marcy brought, dry vanilla with blue icing roses. Nathan grilled hot dogs and barely said 2 words to me. His parents stayed for 30 minutes, took one picture, and left. I didn't complain. I was just thankful they came at all. I cried that night, but not because of the cake. It was everything. I felt alone. But I told myself to be grateful. Then, 1 week later, I opened Facebook. I was on the couch, eating leftover pasta and scrolling absent-mindedly. That's when I saw it. Photo album, surprise family cruise. Eastern Caribbean adventure. Alan and Marcy had been tagged. So had Nathan. I froze. They were on a cruise. A full-on, week-long, tropical, ocean view balcony, fancy-ass cruise. There were pictures of them holding cocktails with umbrellas, wearing those matching cruise shirts, dancing, snorkeling, hugging at sunset. And Nathan. My husband. My baby's father. Smiling. Arms around his mom. Laughing with his dad. Wearing sunglasses I bought him last Christmas. The timestamps? All the same weekend as our baby shower. I stared at the screen like it was a joke. I thought, maybe this was old? But no. The tags were fresh. The comments were full of "looks amazing," and "hope the baby shower went well." I felt sick. When Nathan got home that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table. I didn't say anything at first. Just showed him my phone. He looked at it, sighed, and said, "You weren't supposed to see that." That's all he said at first. "You went on a cruise?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "My parents invited me," he said. "It was a surprise thing. They paid for it. You told me they had no money. That they couldn't help with the baby shower. They didn't. Not for that. You're joking." He rubbed his face. "You're making this a big deal. You're too emotional right now." That word. Emotional. Like I was some crazy pregnant woman getting worked up for no reason. "I'm not emotional," I said. "I'm pregnant. With your child. And you left me to go drink piña coladas with your parents." He didn't say sorry. He didn't even look guilty. "They just wanted to spend time with me," he said. "You would have been uncomfortable anyway. I wanted cake and some friends in the backyard. Not a damn vacation." He just shrugged and walked into the kitchen to get a drink like the conversation was over. That's when I walked into the nursery. The crib was still half-built, the screws still in a bag, instructions on the floor. He'd promised me he'd finish it 2 weeks ago. Instead, he was out dancing on a cruise ship while I was crying in the bathroom because my feet were too swollen to put on shoes. I stood there for a long time. Then I went back into the living room. I opened my laptop. I started writing everything down. Not just this. Everything. Every red flag I'd ignored. Every time he dismissed me. Every time his parents called me that girl instead of by my name. Every time Nathan chose them over me. I don't know what comes next. But I'm not staying quiet anymore. This isn't just about a cruise. It's about what people really think of you when you're no longer convenient. And I'm done being convenient. After I started writing everything down, I felt something shift in me. I wasn't crying anymore. I wasn't even mad in the way I had been. I was cold. Focused. Like a part of me had woken up after being asleep for too long. I didn't confront Nathan again that night. I acted normal. I let him sit on the couch and watch TV while I folded baby clothes and smiled like nothing was wrong. But inside, I was replaying every moment of the past 4 years. Everything that didn't feel right suddenly made sense. 2 days later, I went to my doctor's appointment alone. Nathan said he couldn't get out of work. I didn't argue. I just went. When I got back, I noticed something weird. The top drawer of the baby dresser was open. I never leave it open. It was the one with the little memory book I started writing in. When I looked inside, the book had been moved. I flipped through it. Pages were dog-eared. Nathan had read it. I didn't say anything right away, but that night, as we were eating dinner, he said, "You've been quiet lately." I shrugged. "Just tired." He nodded. "We need to be on the same page, especially with the baby coming." I looked at him. "Are we?" He paused. "Look, I didn't mean to upset you. I just thought I deserved a little break before everything changes. That cruise was a lot. But I'm here now. You weren't here when I needed you. I'm here now," he repeated. Something about the way he said it, like I should be grateful. Like he was doing me a favor just by showing up. I didn't respond. But that night, I messaged my sister. She's 3 years younger than me, and we haven't always been close. But she's sharp, and she never liked Nathan. She said something that stuck with me. "You think this is the first lie? Sis, this is just the first one you caught." She was right. So I started digging. I went through Nathan's phone when he was in the shower. I know it's wrong, but I didn't care. I needed the truth. That's when I found the texts. Hundreds of them. Between Nathan and his mom. Long, detailed conversations, not just about the cruise, but about me. Marcy called me manipulative. Said I was too needy and that I was trapping him with a baby. She said I was emotionally unstable, and she hoped Nathan would wake up before it was too late. And Nathan? He agreed. He told her I was too sensitive, that I made him feel suffocated, that he missed the days when he didn't have to walk on eggshells. I just sat there, reading it all. That same man who rubbed my feet when they were swollen. Who held my hair when I threw up in the first trimester. Who said he was so excited to be a dad. It was all a performance. He was wearing 2 faces. One for me, and one for them. And here's the worst part. In one of the texts, dated the same week as the cruise, Marcy wrote, "I know you won't do it now, but once the baby's born, we'll help you get custody. We've got your back." Nathan replied, "One step at a time. One step at a time." He was planning something. Maybe not soon. But eventually. Leave me. Take our baby. And his parents were in on it. That's when I knew. This wasn't just betrayal. It was war. So I made my plan. I copied the messages. I emailed them to myself. Then I printed them at the pharmacy where I work. I opened a new bank account in my name only. Quietly moved over what I could without raising flags. I started a spreadsheet, expenses, evidence, timelines. I reached out to a lawyer and scheduled a consultation under a fake name. I didn't know when or how I was going to strike. But I knew I would. Nathan thought he was being smart. Thought I was weak. But I grew up with a mother who scrubbed floors and took punches from life and never broke. I knew how to fight quiet. And now, I was fighting for my child. He just didn't know it yet. I started watching Nathan closer after that. He was acting like nothing was wrong, bringing me water, offering foot rubs, asking if I wanted to watch movies. He was laying it on thick. Almost too thick. But once you see the mask slip, you can't unsee it. Every time he smiled, I wondered what he was thinking. Every "how was your day" felt like bait. Like he was trying to check if I knew anything. I kept pretending. But the moment things truly shifted was the day his phone rang while he was in the shower. I normally wouldn't touch it. But after what I'd already found, I didn't hesitate. I picked it up. The name on the screen? Ashley. Not a name I recognized. But the emoji next to it, a red heart. Something cold went through me. I answered. She didn't say hello. She said, "Hey babe, I was thinking about this weekend. Are you sure she won't find out?" I didn't say anything. Silence. Then, "Nathan?" Still silent. "Hello?" She hung up. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Then I opened his messages. There she was. Ashley. 29, lives in St. Louis. Works in sales, whatever that means. Their texts went back months. She was not just some fling. He'd been seeing her since before I got pregnant. They joked about my crazy mood swings. About how the baby trap worked. She asked him if he was sure he wanted to go through with it. One message from him hit harder than the rest. "It's not about what I want. It's about timing. I'll figure it out after the birth." I felt my whole body go numb. This wasn't just a betrayal. He was waiting me out. That's when everything changed for me. Because now it wasn't just about being disrespected. Now it was about my safety. My baby's safety. So I made my next move. I called my older cousin, Tanya, in Kansas City. She's a family law paralegal and doesn't take crap from anybody. I told her everything, slowly, carefully. She didn't gasp. She didn't pity me. She just said, "Start packing." Quietly. And stop sleeping in the same house. She explained that the moment I gave birth, things could get legal real fast. If Nathan got even temporary custody, especially with help from his family, I might be stuck fighting for years. So I followed her advice. I went to my OB and asked if I could be induced early. I told her I was in a high-stress home. I told her my husband had cheated and I didn't feel safe. She asked a lot of questions, and I told her just enough. She moved my date forward by a week, said she'd note everything in my file. Then I started storing baby supplies in my trunk. A few each day. I lied to Nathan. Told him my sister was throwing me a second shower. I took bags out under the excuse of donations and returns. Every night, I slept with one eye open. My hospital bag stayed hidden in the laundry room under old towels. 3 days before my new induction date, I told Nathan I needed to visit my mom for the weekend. I left Friday morning. I never came back. I went straight to Tanya's. She had a guest room ready. A full nursery setup from a friend of hers who'd just finished fostering. A car seat. Diapers. Wipes. She even had legal documents waiting for me to sign to start the custody process. That weekend, I gave birth. Just me, my cousin, and a nurse who held my hand while I cried. I didn't tell Nathan I was in labor. He found out 2 days later, through Facebook. I made a post. Our son was born healthy and strong. We are safe, we are loved, and we are not alone. I didn't tag him. I didn't say his name. But I know he saw it. Because the next morning, he called me 8 times. Then his mom messaged me, "You are being cruel. This is our grandchild." I didn't respond. But I forwarded everything to Tanya. Nathan showed up at the hospital that afternoon. Security turned him away. I had put him on the do not visit list. He screamed in the lobby. Nurses had to get involved. I stayed in my room and rocked my baby while the world burned outside. That night, I looked at my son's face, and I knew one thing: this fight wasn't over. Nathan was going to come after us. And his parents were going to help. But they weren't ready for me. Because I had everything. Nathan didn't back off. After he got kicked out of the hospital, he waited 2 days, then filed for emergency visitation rights. His parents signed affidavits claiming I was unstable, manipulative, and likely to poison the child against his father. He didn't even try to call me after that. Just lawyers. But I was ready. Thanks to Tanya, I had everything documented. Every text. Every photo from the cruise. Copies of Ashley's messages. Screenshots of Marcy calling me emotional and talking about getting custody once the baby was born. I gave it all to the lawyer Tanya hooked me up with. She was tough as nails. She read everything and said, "We're going scorched earth." We filed a full counterclaim, not just to block Nathan's emergency motion, but to pursue full custody, supervised visitation only, and limit grandparent rights entirely. We also filed for spousal support. Then I took it one step further. I reached out to Ashley. At first, she ignored me. But then I sent her one single message: "You should know he told his lawyer you had a history of unstable behavior. I'm not your enemy. But if you want to know what he really said about you, we should talk." She called me that night. Turns out, Nathan had lied to her too. Told her I stopped sleeping with him, that I was controlling, and tricked him into getting me pregnant. He told her he was working on getting full custody so they could raise the baby together. She was horrified. She sent me her call logs. Screenshots of him calling our son a mistake in one of their messages. She agreed to submit a sworn statement to my lawyer, on one condition: I wouldn't name her in court. We didn't have to. Her evidence stood on its own. By the time our first court date came, Nathan's lawyer looked like a deer in headlights. The judge reviewed the texts, heard from my OB about the stress I'd been under, and read the statement from Ashley. Nathan tried to speak. Said he was misunderstood. Said I was alienating him. The judge cut him off. I was granted full legal and physical custody. Nathan was ordered supervised visitation at a facility, twice a month. He was also ordered to take parenting classes, submit to a psychological evaluation, and pay $700 per month in support. But it didn't end there. I also sent a full, anonymous report to his job's HR department, using copies of messages where he joked about faking sick days to sneak off with Ashley, and referred to his female supervisor as just another lonely divorcee. He was fired 2 weeks later. As for Marcy and Alan, they tried to file for grandparent rights in Missouri, claiming I was keeping them from their grandson. My lawyer crushed them with evidence of their manipulation, their texts about helping Nathan get custody, and their complete lack of involvement during my pregnancy. The judge denied their petition with prejudice. They can't try again. After that, I moved back to Kansas City permanently, near Tanya. Got a new apartment. Started therapy. My baby is healthy. He laughs when I sing. He reaches for me first. He's everything good in this world. And Nathan? He tried to keep up visits, but he couldn't handle the supervised setting. He missed 5 in a row. The court issued a warning. Then he stopped showing altogether. I heard through someone that he moved in with a friend across state lines. He owes me over $2,000 in back support. Every month it grows. Ashley dumped him. She sent me a message saying, "You were right." And me? I was right, too. I used to blame myself for missing the signs. For being emotional. For being too trusting. But now I see it clearly: I wasn't the weak one. I was the one who rebuilt my life while holding a newborn in one arm and a legal folder in the other. They underestimated me. They thought I would fold. But I didn't fold. I documented, prepared, and delivered. And now I'm free. My son is safe. And every day, I wake up knowing they lost. I won. And I never have to see their fake smiles again.